took some quote-unquote newborn pictures of my camera. There's one here. And now, oh, put it back, Diane. I'm going to take some comparison shots, okay? She's playing with my break card. And now I'm going to do some, set it down. I'm going to compare the two cameras with the same lens, so I'm going to put the 50 on each one. I'm going to take it hopefully from the same spot, as close as I can get to it, and with the same settings, and see what we can get comparison-wise. Diane likes playing with my newborn stuff too. So here we go. So I'm going to do my quick little comparison video of the field of view and quality of photos that you get off of a full frame Canon camera versus my 3/4 frame that I've been using. My 3/4 frame camera is a Cannon Rebel T5i. I cannot talk today. That's the third time I've tried saying that. And then the full frame that I just got yesterday is a Cannon EOS 6D Mark II. So my husband and I played with it a little bit last night. We realized a really sad thing. Not all of my lenses are compatible with my full frame. I have like an 80 to 200 and then my 50 that work. So we ordered a cheapy 35mm, and then as soon as I get the camera paid off, I'm going to have to save up for getting a kit lens for that. My new camera, this camera, that is compatible, which is about as much as the camera cost. I'm grateful that I have camera, and the quality on this is so much higher than what I've been working with. So I'm super excited about that. It was just a little frustrating and deflated my sales that we couldn't just use all the same, save the money and use all the lenses. But with the 35 and my 50, I should be able to get all the portraits that I need. And then if I really have to be farther out than that, I'll pull out my 3/4 camera again. I'm not selling it, I'm keeping it on hand. All right, let's use this camera body. Has the 24 on it that I just took the quote-unquote newborn pictures with. And one of the reasons why I'm using the cameras is because, can you let go please? The cameras as my model is because on the black it's really easy to see how much noise we're getting. Okay, pick that up. Let me put a camera down. So, and then there's words on it and stuff, so it'll be easier to see the detail. Okay, so this has my 50mm on it. I'm going to hold it up here around my chest, and it's at, I'm going to put it 2.8 ISO. Let's do, looks like 400 is going to be the best, and then shutter speed right now is at 125. This bag was, okay, and I'm just going to focus on the Canon name. Okay, so holding it here at my chest. Also, one of the really nice things about this is it has a very quiet shutter. They're so quiet. Half the time I'm not sure it even takes the picture. One closer up so we can compare depth of field. Make sure I'm not shaking in the picture. Okay. I'm going to switch cameras. Okay. So I've already white balanced this. So again, we're going to go f-stop. Let's see. Then ISO. Then and fill. Okay, here we go. ISO is 400, f-stop is 2.8, and shutter speed is 125. Phone camera at least. Okay. Focusing on Canon. Right at my chest. Take a couple shots in case I shake. Now I'm going to come in and get closer to test. Let's get right here. Okay, now let's pull those onto the computer and see what we find out. Okay, I have everything pulled up on the computer now. Sorry, my kids are going to be noisy. So now let's go ahead and compare them. Here's my screen. This is the regular T5i 3/4 frame. Sorry, my kids are so noisy. Okay, I'm not drawing on it. I'm just zooming in. So notice the frame is kind of really close in with a 50 mil holding at my chest. You don't even get the full basket. Then you try to get in closer, and it's fairly, I'm shook a little bit, so this is not the clearest it could be. I'm gonna get in as close as I can. How far zoomed in am I? This is 300%, and you can already start seeing some noise. And this is at 400 ISO. Going back to 200, you're already starting to see some noise. So there's at 400 ISO, there's already a little bit of noise within the blacks. Thank you, Diane, for your commentary. So here is now the full frame, 50 mil, same settings across the board. You can already tell the depth of field is shallower. So that's pretty out of focus, but like you can really see this is nice and clean. The basket's nice and clean, but the floor is nice and out of focus, and it just has a cleaner look to it. Okay, I'm just gonna say that. Then you get it nice and close. This is, okay, here is 200%. Going around, you might be able to see the tiniest bit of noise, but not very much. Yeah, there's a tiny bit of noise, but not much at all. Still a ton of detail. Here is 300, not nearly the same amount as is on the other camera. Okay, let's see if I can compare at 300 zoomed in. 300%. Get up to the same spot on the camera. Okay, see how out of focus this is already? And here's 300 over here. So you get a lot more detail for your bang for your buck. And then here is the 3/4 focused on Cannon. Don't think I pulled focus the greatest. Fairly well, but not the greatest. So here is that, and here is the full frame. Notice that the depth of field is already shallower here, which is crazy. We had taken a picture of the computer keyboard when my husband and I were messing with this yesterday. It was night and day difference between the full frame versus the 3/4, how many lines of keys were in focus. Like with the full frame, not even the same key was all the way in focus if you were all the way down at 1.8 or whatever, 1.4. So, and these were both at 2.8 f-stop. So it's the camera, not the f-stop that's affecting how in focus is, which is what I've been looking for. I've been looking for, first off, I always have so much noise in my photos because I'm working around 400 to 800 ISO, and because I don't use a ton of studio lights budget-wise, and I like natural light, and I don't have a lot of space for big studio lights. So I use a lot of natural light, and I don't always have control over how much light I actually have. So I'm often shooting at 400 to 800 ISO with my f-stop being at 2.8, which is what my 24 mil lens could go down to. And I like to be over 100 for shutter speed to avoid shakiness in the photos. So this picture right here is my general shooting setup for lighting. And then I didn't add any flash, so this is without flash. And then this is what it's going to be. This is with a 50 mil. I usually was using a 24 mil, but with a 50 mil. And then this is what's going to be. I'm so excited about this. And the shallow depth of field is what I've been looking for, along with the higher quality resolution, because I want to go in and have a higher resolution when I'm editing details on my babies, and be able to send a nicer product to my clients. Again, here, like it's a decent, fun little picture, but this one you can see what I'm trying to focus on. One of the big things I'm going to have to work on with newborn photography now, especially the first few sessions as I'm getting used to it again with a new camera, is adjusting how shallow I want my depth of field. I'm going to have higher f-stops so that I can get a less deep field for some photos, whereas I'm going to get to play with a lot shallower depth of field now as I get a little more creative, which I'm super excited for. You have no idea how excited I am about this. So there's a comparison between the two cameras with the 3/4 and the full frame. There again, 3/4 full frame. It gives you a lot wider view, and you have less noise because you have a wider sensor, a bigger sensor to accept light, so the ISO doesn't have to work as hard, and you get a shallower depth of field. And again, I'm sad that I don't get to use all of my lenses back and forth, but we'll make do until I can get a nicer lens. This is a professional grade camera. Not that the other one wasn't. That one was a decent camera, and I used it for 3 years with my business. Like it did its job, but I am super excited to have this step-up camera that allows me to do even more.